Scott on the fader. Bella on the board. Turn your speakers up. Right on to the show. Look, step in the spot, let me talk my talk. Name on the fly when the lines all chalk. Snap to the clap, whole crowd on tilt. Every ball laid down like a brick I built. I'm at the desk with the dials all red. Flip one switch, make the cheap seat spread. From the crates to the cloud, we connect that route. If the take ain't hot, then it don't get out. Mic in my palm like a town hall gavel. Call this court when the boom bap rattles. I host, I brag, I boast, but I always bring it back. Yo, shout the co-host. I'm the brain in the booth, vibe engineer. Turn one knob, put the whole room here. If it bangs in the trunk and it rings in your ear, then you know Bella been busy all year. Yeah.
It's the Podo cast, we live, we loud. Turn that down, feel it jump in the crowd. Scott on the mic, Bella running that sound. Hands up high, keep 'em up, no down.
The Podo cast in the place tonight. Ride that groove till we hit sunrise. From the first hi-hat to the last rewind, we keep that funk locked in your mind.
That's spin, baby, let the record go wild. I'm that Sunday sermon with the Saturday smile. Question for the fam, y'all ready or what? When the horn stab in, we be tearing it up.
I'm queuing up clips, cut talk from the fluff. Put gold on the grill, leave the rest in the dust. I got taste, got tape, got takes that hit. Flip your whole feed with a single skit.
Got one check, two, whole room in sync. Got jokes so sharp they can cut your drink. I steer this ship, keep the chaos calm. Still rock crowd chants like a call to arms.
I'm riding that fade while I ride that wave. Give the host more space when the crowd misbehave. You hear that cheer when the punchline land. That's me in the back, turning laughter to brand.
It's the Podo cast, we live, we loud. Turn that down, feel it jumping up crowd. Scott on the mic, Bella running that sound. Hands up high, keep 'em up, don't down.
The Podo cast in the place tonight. Ride that groove till we hit sunrise. From the first hi-hat to the last rewind, we keep that funk locked in your mind. Scott, say Bella. Bella. Two brains, one flame, turn the room to a cellar. Say play. Say cast. From the first bold laugh to the very last blast.
It's the Podo cast, we live, we loud. Turn that down, feel it jumping up crowd. Scott on the mic, Bella running that sound. Hands up high, keep 'em up, don't down.
The Podo cast in the place tonight. Ride that groove till we hit sunrise. From the first hi-hat to the last rewind, we keep that funk locked in your mind.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the dark side of the podcast. And thank you. Trust me, it's going to be a different stream than it was last night. I actually got a funny story following that. I got a couple funny stories following that stream. I'll get to them as we go. But the podcast is your home for rational privacy news and objectivity, leaving emotion at the door, talking about what we like, why we like it, and where we see it going. We are not offering financial advice. We are showing you what we do, and that is all. We don't slow down. We don't let up. Full speed is our only speed. I'm your host, Scott, pragmatic libertarian who has won and lost fortunes, and joining me as always is the greatest producer of all time, the one, the only, the original, the red-headed Bella. How are you doing tonight, Belle?
You know what? It's been a day, Scott, but not a bad one. How are you today?
Oh no, I'm blooming. I am just blooming. We're getting we're very excited right now because we're about to be on the road for a good long while, and we're at least hopefully starting it in May and wrapping it up around December-ish. That's our hope right now. And yeah, man, we're setting up booths, pricing them out, finding all the places that we need to go, budgeting, all that other good stuff that you have to do when you have to do a grassroots. And let me tell you why we're doing grassroots. I think this is kind of applicable to all the conversations that we're going to have up here tonight. People go out of their way and they will pay money not to watch ads. So I ran a bunch of numbers and I checked, I've bounced all kinds of stuff off from different teams and marketing and all that other good stuff, trying to figure out how would our money and time be best spent on this. And I'm not a developer. Bella is not a developer. We're not coders. All right. We're biz dev. All right. She's CEO, I'm COO, biz dev. And that's what we do. And as once apps are developed, then you need customers. I mean, this is it. This is one of the big things that crypto missed, because everybody went field of dreams out here. If you build it, they will come. And turns out they won't. They won't. So we have to go out and get them. Now, we already know how. We've already been doing this last year when we had nothing to sell, just the idea. But we were still getting excellent response from the folks that we were talking to. And we were able to hand deliver APKs and some weird stuff like that. But we were able to do all that. And that's where the money comes down. For an effective ad buy for us, it's going to be anywhere from $150,000 to $250,000 for a big, wide-scale, massive kind of ad buy. And we're talking about all the social media platforms, everything, all the way out there. If we want to run that for any length of time, that's about what it's going to cost. And considering that people are going out of their way right now to pay money not to see ads. I mean, the niche business that this ad spun up is absolutely incredible. But because they're willing to pay money not to see them, it tells me right there that the effectiveness of them are so severely diminished in this day and age now. And as the internet continues to develop and mature, that for us, it's just a waste of money. Now, for Nike, sure. Throw up Nike ads. Who cares, man? You're talking about, multi-billion-dollar company. They got advertising revenue to burn, but we don't. We have to be very, very smart and strategical with our money. So in our opinion, us just simply getting out there and grinding it is the way to go for us, because then we get some nice hands-on stuff. And people are showing up at these conferences to gather information and to get things together. They're not walking in there not paying for advertisements, because the entire thing is effectively an advertisement, all of these things, and people are showing up there for that. So for us, it's a nice, easy sell. And, we already have kind of it in mind, what we're going to do, how we're going to set up the booth. We're big fans of how we did the studio here with the studio style drapes and all that stuff. So probably do a 8-foot by 10-foot backdrop with the same kind of curtains up there. So we'll hang those in the back, maybe pull one on the side, maybe a shorter one, a 5-foot or a 4-foot on another side, depending on what position that we get, so that we can, develop the booth, carpet, couple tables, and, nice customized tablecloths, Sigea Cloud Labs, brands, icons, all that stuff, swag. But, we're actually see our advantage in this is that you don't have to contact us for pricing. Literally, all you gotta do is scan the barcode that we're gonna have, set up on the tables. This one's iOS, this one's Android. Takes you right to the store, and you can download our product, and it doesn't cost you anything. It simply doesn't cost you anything, because we give 2 gigs for free for life. It doesn't cost you anything to try our product. It's free. Knock yourself out, please. Use it up. Fill up your 2 gigs. If you never come back, thanks you at least for trying. But it costs us pennies. So our customer acquisition cost in something like that goes way, way, way down. And that's kind of what we're about. But for the occasional person that we get that really, really likes it, assume that they have 3 or 4 close associates that they may or may not share this with. Now, I mean, I got a whole list of people I can just shoot this thing out as, hey, download this app. It's really cool. I have tons of people that I can, but I'm erring on the side of caution as much as I can, and just assume that each person that does this maybe has 3 close associates. So every single person that we get to download and try the app, that is an opportunity for us to reach 3 people via word of mouth. That's what grassroots is that we put out a good product, we, verify, make sure that this thing does exactly what we say it does. And then people start advertising on our behalf, because we do have top-notch security. We have ultimate privacy. We have all of these things, but you got to get it on somebody's phone first. But the joy of this, what we're doing, is no different than what Dropbox did. Meaning that if you want to take advantage of all the features and utility that our app offers, you have to operate inside of our ecosystem, which means you got to download the app. And that's all we're really trying to do here, is get downloads. Because once an app is on a person's phone, odds of them deleting that app are very, very slim. People don't delete apps. If you don't believe me, open your phone right now and scroll through the pages and pages of apps that you have on it and actually look at each and every one and say, do I actually use this app? Have I ever been back to this place? Has any of this occurred? And I was just doing that on my phone today. I deleted 26 different apps that I haven't touched in over a year, but they were still sitting there on my phone. I'm still showing up as a user for these people, Belle. So I'm like, once we get them on, there's a cat. I don't know if you see it, Belle, but there's a cat's ass right there. Once you get them on, once you're on somebody's phone, man, it simply doesn't go away. It tends to stay there. I'll ask the audience right now, man. Look, how many weird apps do you see on your phone that you just never got around to deleting? So our whole thing is to get out there. Now, I'm a personable kind of person. Belle's a personable kind of person. And we can read body language. We're salesmen. We can pick up on this stuff. What are you really looking for? Is it the utility that is very, very appealing to you? Like limitless size file sharing? You know, you want to share a 20 gig file right there? Click the three dots, click share, click with who, and click send, and boom, you just did. Now, we can do this, and real effectively, nobody else can. Dropbox can't. They can't do anything up that big. It just doesn't, unless you pay a hell of a lot more than we're charging. But we'll give it to you at 99 cents for 20 gigs. Well, 99 cents a month for 20 gigs, and we'll give you that. You know, $1.99 for 50. So that's our whole idea here. But we don't want to lose the family while we're doing this, and we're going to be on the road a lot. So we don't want to lose the family. So that was one of the other things that we were exploring is how can we live stream from these events? And we have a remote kit. It's not that hard. But I want to make sure that you guys have a familiar backdrop. So even though if we're in somewhere in Mississippi or Kentucky or Florida or Tennessee or New Mexico or Arizona, that we can still, you know, broadcast and tell you guys what's going on with this. It's a very exciting time for us right now. I'm more jazzed up than I have been in a long time, and I know Belle is, because this is where the rubber meets the road, and this means me and Belle get to work, real work of putting apps on phones. And I don't think anybody can do it as easily as we can. So we're very, very excited about the opportunity. What are your thoughts on this here, Belle?
I mean, I'm giddy. I'm giddy. I mean, there's a lot of work that I do behind my desk here. I mean, there are days that it feels like I am practically chained to the thing and can't move. Now, with that being said, actually going out and talking to people about what we've built and where we're going, that is really where we're going to shine with this. And I can't wait.
Yeah, well, right after, as soon as we're done, as soon as Flagship hits the store, obviously we have to continue development, and we can't sit there and rest on our laurels. Just because it works doesn't mean that it can't work better. But then we are going to be pushing into the final Sigea Talk app that we're going to be putting out there. Now, that works wonderfully for us, particularly when we're on the road, because one conference where we're only pushing, you know, Sigea Storage, and the next conference we have multiple apps that we're pushing out, and they're the same consumers. The consumers who are, want to protect their data privacy, whatever's on their phone and files and folders and all that other good stuff, also would be inclined to protect their personal conversations and what they do and who they talk to and all that stuff. So we get a twofer in this. We get an absolute twofer on this, plus any additional apps that we're putting out. It's the same crowd that we're pitching to. So now we just have, not only are we putting one app on their phone, we're putting two apps on their phone, maybe even three apps on their phone. We're just going down the row. And this stuff really starts to grow and it starts to take off. So we're kind of excited about that. I'm seeing 6 people on the stream, and I know me and Belle are 2 of them. I know Belle and I are 2 of them. So that means we have 4 people. There's no interest in this. Now, what makes this really, really interesting to me, Belle? The thing that makes this really, really interesting to me is how that particular number is going to change as we start getting out there, as we really start getting this and getting consumers and people who have never seen us, heard of us, never been around. So not only do we get a twofer on multiple apps, but we also give an opportunity to get more chat and discussion going on the show, because you know what? at the end of the day, we're just we can be very interesting people, and we put on a good live stream. So maybe there's some folks out there that are just looking for that kind of grounded news and, commentary and opinion and stuff like that. So who knows? It'll get interesting. But yeah, that's why I'm so jazzed up right now, because I finally, really, honestly get to work. I don't have to sit here and fight on social media with posts and tagging things like Jackal and Akash and all that stuff. I don't have to do that anymore. I can get out and push this product to people who don't use blockchain, don't know what it is, don't care what it is. That's what we get to do now. So that's why I'm very, very excited about what we have going on right now, because it's finally coming together, and it's been a hell of a long road, Bell. So when I say a hell of a long road, I'm talking to the point, Bell. Cheers. Here we go. All right. And I did promise you a funny story. So I don't know if you guys caught the stream last night. If you made it to the
If you're gonna start telling a story, make sure you start it right, Scott.
Mm-hmm. Do you want me to really do that? Because it's about you.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So,
well, I mean,
all right.
go ahead.
Okay. No shit. There I was. So if you guys tuned in for the stream last night, we had Emery in studio, and it was a lot of fun. We were using 2 different mics and a lapel mic, so everybody was mic'd up and all that stuff. It was a pretty it was a neat setup, and we were having a good time. And we were sampling booze and just telling stories and just kind of enjoying our evening, because we haven't gotten to do that for a while. But apparently Belle says I drank 3 shots. That's what she told me. And no shit, there I was, because that's what she told me today. I only had 3 shots. And I was like, that's
what I remember.
Yeah. And that is wildly incorrect, because if you go back and watch that entire 2-hour stream, she never didn't have a glass in her hand. And Belle is about 140 pounds of nothing, drinking that much bourbon, and some of this stuff is pretty high test. So no shit, there I was. The stream was over. Belle just kind of wanders off the stage, and it was cool because the last time we did something like this, she literally fell off the stage, but she made it this time, and she was able to walk to the stage and just kind of headed back. And I was sitting in here, and me and Emery were just bullshit. We were talking business, and that's actually what I'm going to get to here in a minute, Belle, because it was regarding the Jackal token and a thought that I had. But no shit, there I was. Emery and I are out here talking for a good 45 minutes, and I was like, where the fuck is she? Where is she not part of it? Are you not the CEO? So anyway, I live in a split level house, and if you go right through that door right there and down the hall a little bit, there's a bathroom right there, and then the whole downstairs area. And I have a couch, it's nice. It's kind of a man cave-ish. So I went down there, and I see her face down on the damn thing. I don't know if she vomited or not. Maybe she could say yes or no. But I see her face down with that, with an arm behind her back like this, and the other one there, and her face is like buried into the couch. And I was like, okay, I don't know what to do here. I don't know what to do here. I'm not sure what to do. Snoring like you've never heard a human snore. And I assume it's because her face was kind of mushed into it. And so yeah, no shit, there I was. I didn't know what to do. I was like, I'm not sure what you do in this situation. I literally didn't know. But there were some blankets that I have up there, and I just kind of pulled the whole mush down on top of her. It's colder downstairs. It's a split level. This part of the house is effectively underground, so it's going to be a little colder. But yeah, I just kind of dumped it on her, and I don't know what to do, and went out, and me and Emery went upstairs, and we made cheese crisps. We were trying to de-drunk ourselves just a little bit. So, yeah, no shit, there I was. That was the end of the stream. So, Belle, do you remember any of this? Does any of this ring a bell to you whatsoever?
I do remember, going over to the couch and curling up. Yeah, I remembered that. And it was like, I'm in a shape that, I know I'll be forgiven for passing out on the couch. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Did you throw up in the bathroom? Did you vomit?
Well, yeah, I did.
There we go. See that? I made a guess on that.
I figured out why that happened, and I had completely forgotten about it.
Because you drank too much? That's typically what happens.
No, because actually I didn't drink more than I usually do, ironically.
Yeah.
But what I had forgotten was I took a Benadryl earlier in the day because my sinuses were plugged.
Oh, okay. So you took
Yeah.
Benadryl and decided to wash that down with some real high test good bourbon. That made sense to you.
I thought enough time had passed, and apparently I was wrong.
You were just a little bit wrong, but it was good. But like I said, I was talking to Emery. We were having kind of a good discussion. And this is kind of where it gets interesting, Belle. Now, I'm going to go big screen here. And I would love to hear the comments if we actually get some, because it's an idea. It's something that I hadn't considered. But we started talking about it last night, and all of a sudden I am jazzed up financially to a point that I haven't been in a very, very, very long time. And I'm going to lay it out for you. But before I do that, Belle, questions, comments, say hi to everybody. Let me smoke. Let me hit my drink once, and then I'll go ahead and get into this. It's not a monologue. It's just off the top of my head based on the conversation that we were having yesterday, and I'd like to get people's feedback on that. But go ahead, Belle. Do your producer thing.
All right. So we've got Deja, Sigea fan, Mistress Mel, G Torres, Mackenzie, and Sofa Ninja in chat that I can see talking right now.
Yay! So I'll give a round of applause to the very, very
cat's back.
Yeah, I see the cat. To the very, very small audience that we have tonight. That's okay. If we were talking politics, Iran, or crypto, we could fill the room. But honestly, I'd prefer just to talk to the folks that really want to talk to us. That works a hell of a lot better for me. I'm not in a combative mood tonight. I don't want to sit here and have to grab the mic and start railing away at somebody. So that kind of works for this particular idea. And Mac, you really might want to listen up here, because I'm no, it has nothing to do with Corium, but I'm literally laying out the case for why we are right and everybody else out here has been wrong, and why they've been wrong for so long. And I hope you'll come along on this journey with me. So talk for just a second, Belle. I got to take a pull.
All right, so Sigea fan is here, but he's driving for a little bit. He's going to try and comment as much as he can in a little bit, but he did hit the like button.
Well, and I appreciate it, and I hope everybody hits the like button. I mean, come on. I do think about that from time to time, all the time and effort and all that stuff that we put into all of this, and the fact that our crowd has gone nothing but down. It has nothing to do with production. It has everything to do with us, because we are simply not picking the right topics. But we want to pick topics that we want to discuss, because we really don't earn any money doing this. I think YouTube, with all the videos and the live streams and the tips that we don't really get anymore, we make about $65 a month on YouTube. $65 a month. And, the real popular streamers, man, these guys are making tens of thousands of dollars per stream just in tips, just shaking their tits or whatever the hell that they do. So they certainly have the pulse of the crowd a hell of a lot better than we do. But I'd rather be genuine. I'd prefer just to be genuine. And that kind of works. That kind of works for me. So.
Well, and I know at one point, we figured out that we had indeed been shadow banned, but we've taken all the steps to get away from that shadow ban, and it still hasn't made much of a difference.
No, but at this point, after a YouTube channel that's been live for almost 9 years now, it's too late. We are etched in the algo. They don't show us to anybody. Our only option would be spin up a brand new channel, and we could do that, but I really don't have any interest in doing that. I'm just kind of comfortable where everybody knows us. The people who know us know us. So all right, anyway, so here's kind of my thought here, and Belle, entertain this for a minute. You are the damn CEO. So our intent with Sigea Storage and Sigea Talk and Sigea everything that's going to come after, our intention was always to simply buy, we get paid in cash, and to take that cash and to buy enough tokens, Jackal tokens, because we have to operate, we have to use Jackal tokens to pay for the hosting. That's just blockchain. That's the way it works. So, but to only buy enough for us to secure and pay for the amount of storage that we're using, because we're not going to pay for storage that we're not using. If we're only using 320 terabytes, we're not going to pay for 800. All of this stuff is automated. All right. We expand as we need to expand, and we only pay for that. But it was always kind of our intention to only use the revenue that's coming in to buy the amount of tokens that we need to pay for our storage costs at this time, and then kind of bank the rest of it, bank the rest of the cash. Now, here's where it got interesting, Bell, and this is where you might want to listen up, Mac. Pay attention here, bro. So my thought, and I was kind of discussing this, spitballing this with Emery a little bit. What if we took all of the revenue that was coming in, all of the revenue that we have coming in here, and we used all of it to buy Jackal tokens? Now, hear me out. We're only going to spend what we need to pay for the storage at the time. But we know, particularly because there's some other things that are not real public knowledge right now, but likely will. We bought all the revenue that was coming in and bought nothing but Jackal tokens so that we could bank them for down the line. Now, we know when buy pressure exceeds sell pressure, that the token will mathematically go up. We literally had the guy that wrote half of the Jackal tokenomics in the studio with us yesterday, and he was nodding. He's like, no, that's correct. That's correct. So what if we put all the revenue that we earned in this straight into that so that we could bank those tokens for the future? Now, why does that get interesting? Because if we're paying .005 for a token, half a cent for a single token, and we're buying them right now, and we are successful with our apps and additional apps, we know that these tokens are going to increase in value, which means that our storage cost, and that's the only thing I'm concerned with. You know I'm BD, and you know this is the only thing I'm concerned with is our storage costs. And right now they're $15 per terabyte. They're $15 per terabyte with the token at .005. But if we are successful, and I know that we're going to be, because you and I, we've war gamed this. We've been out. We've already gotten feedback. We've gotten in front of it. So any token that we buy at .005 that we use to pay for storage, if we double up, which is not hard, by the way, it's only a few $1,000s, as a matter of fact, to take that thing and spin it up from a half a cent to 1 cent. The tokens that we purchased at .005, we're now cashing in at 1 cent, let's just pretend. But that lowers our storage costs right there from $15 per terabyte to $7.50 per terabyte. Now, this is a mathematical fact, and you can't argue around that. This is what it costs, because we are only paying Jackal $15 per terabyte, but we're paying it in the Jackal token. So our own success with getting this app out, getting revenue coming in, using that exclusively just to purchase Jackal tokens, and we're never selling them. You understand this, right? I see you rolling your eyes, but you understand that we're never selling them. We are simply cashing them in. That at the moment that we're buying them and paying for storage, let's say it's 80 terabytes, but we have almost twice that we have banked now. So if we continue to be successful, and this is a month-over-month purchase for us, this is a constant, continuous purchase that we're making with this, that if for some reason we do need to put these things back in, but we're now only paying $7.50 per terabyte, that means our profit margin just did what, Bell? What just happened to our personal profit margin if we're only paying $7.50 per terabyte as opposed to $15 per terabyte? Our cost just got cut in half because we bought data futures. Now, what happens if we drive it to 2 cents? We're now paying $3.75 per terabyte because we bought when nobody else was, because we purchased data futures, because we know that we're putting data on the network. And the thing that makes this particular network function is data on it. That's what makes it work. That's what makes it fly. That's what makes it accumulate value. Now, Bell and I have both reached out to the really well-named storage providers on the Jackal network. We both reached out to them separately, but we wanted to see if we get the same answers. I'm sure you know where I go with this. I didn't want to be glazed. I want to know what the actual answer is. So correct me if I'm wrong, Bell, But just the few people that we were talking to, between all of them, they can stand up and effectively host 12 petabytes of data. Now, that's the number that I got. Did you get a similar number? And I'm going to your screen, Bill. So did you get a similar number to that?
I did get a similar number to that.
Okay. So part of our spitballing thing here was saying how much data is actually going to be available on this network. Now, we have our pin and R map on Bell's little board back there is 10 petabytes. At 10 petabytes, we have to purchase month over month over month, approximately, not even approximately, precisely $150,000 worth of Jackal tokens that we have to purchase per month. Every month, month over month over month, that we have to purchase this many Jackal tokens just to host 10 petabytes of data that exists on Sigea Cloud. On Sigea Storage and Sigea Talk and Sigea everything. So we know mathematically that it's going to drive the token up because this is literally the way it was designed years and years ago. And we would have been well past that if we could have, if we knew the things then that we know now, Bill. We didn't. We had to learn a hard lesson, but we learned those lessons and we're past it now. But with all of that, I want you to think about that for a minute. Just think about it and put some consideration into this, Bill. The tokens that we buy now, because you know that we're going to complete what we need to complete, Race. You know that this is going to get filled out. Everybody loves disruptive tech, and they particularly love disruptive tech that they don't have to pay for development costs because it's already done and out there. So we have no concern in that. No concern. And that's going to give us a runway. Yeah, our only problem we have going on right now is that our burn rate is too low. We need a higher burn rate for people to take us seriously. Isn't that kind of funny? For people to take us seriously, we have to spend more money. B and Bell are absolute misers out here. You would not believe the sacrifices and shit that we've done to keep that burn rate as low as we possibly can so that we can make it to here plus a little bit more. So that should give us a good 18 to 24 months worth of burn with no revenue coming into this company whatsoever. None. Now, we know we're going to have revenue coming into this company because everybody who pays us $1.99 a month is revenue into this company. But it was kind of the long-term thinking that I had on this is that those tokens that we could acquire now, as opposed to putting it in and extending our runway, I don't think we'll need 2 years. I don't think we'll be anywhere near that. I think inside of 6 months, we're going to be hitting our numbers. I am a hustler. You're a hustler. We have people lined up ready to put this thing out everywhere. And every single dollar that comes in goes to buy up these tokens. We pay Jackal what we need to pay to host our data, and we bank the rest of them. And we simply bank the rest of them. I'm not talking about staking. I'm not talking, even though that would be the very, very smart thing to do. But I'm not talking about doing that. What I'm talking about is holding them in as data futures. Because when we push it to 2 cents, we're now paying $3.75 per terabyte for everything that we have held up till now. Everything. And that sounds great right now, but the only way that it works is that if we continue to do it, and we can't do it indefinitely. You understand that eventually it's a zero sum. But right now on the onset, it could get to the point where if the company really needs cash, you know, we got a big push coming up. We have a new app we're developing. We need more money and funding for A, B, and C. That we're not purchasing those Jackal tokens now. We're just spending the ones that we held in reserve. We're just cashing in the futures. We're not selling the tokens. We're not doing anything to the token price. We're not hurting it at all. All we're doing is cashing in data futures, and the company revenue that's coming in right now goes straight to company revenue, so that we can push what we need, so that we can bring on new developers, so that we can bring on marketers, so that we can bring on whatever the hell we need. And we can do all of this, Bell, without having to go and suck VC penis, because I've done that and it's not pleasant. But how nice would it be to actually be positioned to a point where we don't have to? We have already banked what we need to bank. The engine. we have bought fuel at 85 cents a gallon. That's a good metaphor. We have bought super unleaded at 85 cents a gallon. And now that it's $3.50 a gallon, it still only costs us 85 cents, but it's worth $3.50. That's futures. That's how the futures market works. I'm sure you guys understand frozen concentrated orange juice. We could do the same thing here. And it's only possible. This is actually what gets me more excited about this than anything else, Bell, is that what I'm talking about here is only possible in blockchain. It only works out here in the blockchain world. This is why the tech was invented. This is why it was developed. And this is the practical use for it. Because we have a product to sell that is not a crypto product. It just uses blockchain. And we didn't write the tokenomics. We didn't create the rules. Somebody else did. All we see is an opportunity. And the fact that we have organic revenue coming in doesn't cost us anything. It does not cost this company a single cent. But because we built a good app and because me and Bell out there hustled our asses off and got it on 25, 50, 100,000 different devices, and that now we have revenue coming in. But because we did that, it gives us the opportunity to take advantage of all the things that blockchain can do. I don't think you could talk to a single crypto person out here, Bell, right now that doesn't look at this and say, yeah, crypto's down. It's all the way across. Boy, I wish I had money. Now, look at your camera, Bell. Look directly at it because I want to see like you're looking at me. Imagine if we did have revenue. Imagine if we did have money to buy this stuff at an all-time low, but knowing what we know that nobody else seems to, even though we've been incredibly transparent. I don't think anybody out here is going to say that we build in silence. We do not. We build in big and bold and complete transparency. So what I'm saying is that the opportunity's there. Now, I'll send you over the executive summary. It will only go to you. Board of directors doesn't need to see this, but you do. I will send you over the executive summary. But on from the top level, Bell, is this intriguing to you, or am I wasting my time even? I mean, it's just, it takes a few hours for me to knock these things up. Is this intriguing to you, or am I wasting my time? Yeah, I know. I told you it's going to be a big one.
Yeah, you did. And I'm not really, I do appreciate the overall thought.
That's all it is. Yep.
However, one of the things hurting us with filling this raise right now is the fact that you and I are not taking paychecks.
Yeah.
We have got to come up with at least a small amount once we go post revenue that we are actually earning in order to fill our raise. Then we can figure out how much in Jackal we can buy.
Yeah, and I agree with that. Now, my thought, and this is, again, spitballing and dreaming and really, really hoping. One, we're not asking for that much money for the tech that we built, for the disruptive nature of what we built here. And by the way, anybody, if you want it on your phone right this second, email Bella with, if you're on Android, with your Play Store email. You email it to her right now, and it's on your phone right every moment. If you tested iOS for us in the past, open your email and do a search with the word test flight, one word, test flight, because you already got an invite to come up and try this thing out simply on desktop. Run.sigeacloud.io. Test it out. All right, we need feedback, and we're getting to that in the next segment because we need a lot of feedback. We're right here at the finish line, guys, so we need an awful lot of things. But my thought on that, Bell, is one, this tech is as disruptive as it gets, and you know it. We can waffle around it. Well, it's so simple. If you guys can do it, anybody can do it. No, that's not true, because if anybody could have done it, they already would have done it. All right, this thing is wrapped in gold, covered in unicorn dust. That's where this thing is. We don't need that much money because you and I live very, very thin, and we're incredible misers. So we don't need that much money, and I'm not really sweating filling that raise. Everything that I'm basing this on Just so you know, I'm your BD. I'm COO. Everything I'm basing this on is the fact that we earn zero revenue for 18 months, that we don't make a dollar for 18 months. Clearly, we have revenue coming in. People are going to pay for it. Not a problem. I pay for it myself right now. So all I am looking at this is what do we do with that revenue? And is it worth it to burn off the raise through a traditional burn, get ourselves to Series B, because this would be considered a Series A, get ourselves to Series B while revenue neutral, because that's what we would be considered at that point, revenue neutral. But the opportunity from that point on, and if we drive this token to 4 cents or 5 cents or 6 cents, and we know it'll do it because it fucking did it before. But with real world use, could you imagine the value of those data futures purchased right now at .005? We're never selling tokens. This is not one of those things. Oh my God, look, Bell, we did all this hard work and we drove the token up to 8 cents. We should dump all of our holdings. That'll never happen, because our holdings at that point that we purchased at .005 or 1 cent or 2 cent are so infinitely more valuable than their cash equivalent at that point that it would make no sense to ever part with them until we actually need a cash influx to this corporation. That would be the only time. And the only effect that anybody out here would see is that nice steady 30% that you're going to see on that token graph flatlines for a little bit. You know why it flatlines? Because we're not purchasing tokens at that point, because we are cashing in data futures. We're not selling them. We are using those tokens to fund operations so that we can bankroll the cash, so that we can bring on more devs or marketers or a fucking social media manager, Bell, if you want it. Even though I think Mel should do that because we got her cheap. So I think we should really work the shit out of her on that. But the only way you would know that we're not is that when the token starts to flatline a little bit, not going down, but just starts to flatline a little bit, because we don't have to purchase so much month to month to month because we're cashing them in because we needed a cash influx. So we could do this without having to go out and suck VC penis. So it was just a thought. But again, we talked about this. I said we build in transparency. The good news is that nobody could stop us from doing anything that we want to do. This is blockchain. This is, permissionless. Nobody can stop us from doing anything that we want to do. Anything. But the tokens purchased right now are so much more infinitely more valuable that we buy right now, that we cash in at 2 cents, 4 cents, 8 cents, 6 cents, whatever, is that, oh my God, man, if we bankrolled enough of these things, if we banked enough of these things, we could literally run revenue flat or just pure profit margin for 12 to 18 months, just cashing in data futures. Because as the price goes up, Bell, we spend less and less tokens. Same cash value, always $15 per terabyte, but we spend less and less tokens every single time. Now, I'm sorry, for me personally, that's it. That's my coup de grace. And when we hit a point like that, the podcast doesn't exist anymore. We're shutting it down. We don't need this. All right, we don't need this stuff anymore. Then we'll be doing one of those self-help courses, Bell. We could be doing that stuff, about how to fix your A1C or something like that, because we won. We won the internet, and we absolutely fucking won blockchain. So I'm very, very excited about the opportunity. Anyway, Bell, do we have any questions, comments, or concerns? Should I queue up another song? I got more songs.
We do have a few.
Okay.
We do have a few comments.
No, I don't think it'll be many. Nobody wants to talk about this, but go ahead.
All right. So, Sigea fan, I love the idea of Sigea Talk.
Yes, and it's coming. Bell, elaborate on that just a little bit. I'm queuing up a song.
That is literally we've got 2 apps that are coming up neck and neck. Sigea Talk is definitely one of them. It's going to take a little bit longer, though, basically because of the way it has to be built. Now, with that being said, work on it has started, so we'll keep you guys updated as we progress. All right, so Sigea fan, locking in the price at .005 sounds pretty sweet for future profit later. since we're not selling the tokens, since we're actually using them, it really, there's no profit to be made there.
Yeah,
Not really.
and I understand where you're going with that, Bill, and I do. All right, this is it's data futures. I don't see him. There's a cap behind you, Bell. Do you not see that this shit is happening right there behind you?
Oh no, I don't have to see it. I can feel it.
And it's kind of cool because you got a bokeh effect going on. So all we see is a blurry black thing that's running over the top of your chair and down your lap. That's actually kind of funny. No, I understand where you're saying, where you're going with that, Bill. I get it, and I understand your concerns. I do, but this is why raises occur. This is why Series A and Series Bs occur, so that we can do what is absolutely necessary to make this company as profitable as possible. And the profit margin, with us paying 75 cents per terabyte for data, profit margin on something like that is obscene. I look at the executive summary. I'll send it over to you, because when you get up into there, we're in 5-figure profit margin, 5-figure % profit margin. It is obscene, absolutely obscene. I literally feel guilty even thinking about it. I do. And again, for the degens out there that, we're going to take up my buy tokens and dump money, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do to affect it. It really won't matter. This is the way blockchain was supposed to be. So anybody who's buying right now, it's going to ride our coattails up and dump on us at 2 cents. Okay, go for it, man. It doesn't change our business model. It doesn't change anything about what we have going on right now. So, like I said, just a thought. Anyway, carry on, Bell. One more, and then we'll play a song.
G. Torres, it does make a lot of sense to me, and maybe the price of Jackal Rising can also be a form of advertising for Sigea, because people will want to know why token price go up.
Yeah, and Bell and I have had this conversation a lot. Bell, nod your head, because we've had this fucking conversation a lot. If anybody understands degens, it's us, because we are both degens, but we also understand market attention. I was going to say market forces, but market attention, particularly over here in crypto land. Token go up makes people take a good hard look at it. It always does. And we're not talking about all of a sudden it goes from, 0.005 to 2 cents, because literally we could do that right this second, but there's no reason to. It makes people stand up and take notice. And that's fine. So, but long term for us, 12 or 6 months, 9 months, 18 months, so forth and so on. People buying or selling the token is going to be completely irrelevant to us, because we intend our corporate revenue is going to increase month after month after month, because we get more people to use the app, guys. It's just that simple. Mac, are you listening? It's just that simple. Get people to use it, and everything else just simply takes care of itself. All I am exploring is opportunities that we can do to get our costs down, because that is it for us. Income, expenditures, turn the paper over. And if I can get our expenditures lower, that means our income that we have, which is going to be fairly steady, has a greater impact on this company, because our costs went way the hell down. And that's it. It's really no different than like buying aluminum. I make cars. I need aluminum. So if the cost of my aluminum goes down, but I can keep the price of the car the same, I have a higher profit margin. If I was an airline and I locked in a fuel price at $1.85 per gallon for JP5, and suddenly right now, the cost for everybody else is $3.85, then I can get into an effective price war, because my costs are about half of what their costs are. That's really all it comes down to. I'm telling you, if we do something like this, and I got to sell it to the board, but if we do something like this, we could literally get into a price war with iCloud, with Amazon, with Dropbox. We could literally get into a price war with them, because our costs are so much lower than theirs, because we invested in storage futures. That's what it is, storage futures. But because we invested in storage futures, because we had the wherewithal, the insight, and the simple stones to take to take a shot where you see it, our hosting costs go down to nothing. It's almost irrelevant at that point. So we could literally get into a price war. And then that's a whole different discussion, Bill. Do we price this based on what it's worth for what you get for it? Because we're already underpriced for the type of security and privacy that you get because you can't get it anywhere else. And there are riches in the niches. We should be charging $6 for 50 terabytes, not $2. And people will pay it. They'll pay YouTube $7 a month just not to see ads. And I'm saying that we are woefully underpriced for what we offer. But imagine what we could do if our hosting costs went down to 75 cents per terabyte. Imagine what we could do. And in that case, if we wanted to get into a price war, we could get into a price war, realistically. Now, I don't want to do that. I'm excited about that, but I'm eager to have that discussion. So it'll be kind of fun. Anyway, guys, we'll get right back with, if I can find it, we'll get right back with your questions, comments, concerns, observations. I know it's not an exciting stream, but we like to build transparently. We're very, very jazzed up right now. Bell and I get to really, really get to work finally. And I am super excited about it, and I know Bell is. So let me kick you over a little song here, guys. We will be right back with your questions, your comments, your concerns here on the podcasts on the KPOD network. We'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weirdos have arrived.
Preaching chrome gospel, boombox sermon in a fossil. Android lovers doing the twist in the wreckage of what we missed. Mixed up, shook up, feel the machine scream. Peanut butter apocalypse, velvet dream supreme.
Ladies and let me hit the other one. Here we go. Okay, there. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kids, welcome back to the podcast. And you know what? I'm not going to share that. I was going to share that little bit of information. I'm not going to. Bell, you know what? When we go up on this stuff, I pull up the EQ board because I got a 64 channel digital EQ board that I look at. And when I play these funky songs like that, it is like hypnotic watching all the bounce up there. And I'm wondering if we should replace the podcast splash screen because come on. I mean, the Hawk Tua girl, she came and went. She's doing OnlyFans, by the way, right now. So if you ever want to see her boobies, it's not that hard. I'll just kind of leave it there. But I wonder if we should replace that with the EQ. I could put the EQ board up there, splash it on full screen, and maybe others will enjoy the hypnotic nature that I get out of it. I don't know, but there's a thought. Anyway, Bell, a lot more to talk about here, and I know that we've already been running long, but I've had a lot on my mind, and it seems like a good stream to get this out on. Anyway, questions, comments, concerns, observations. I know we ain't got a lot of viewers, so...
Sigea fan, of course, if Scott makes Jackal go up too fast, people will jump in and buy more because DGens love to buy when things go up.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, Sigea fan, man, that's where it gets real interesting. Our revenue doesn't come from Jackal token. Our revenue comes from people taking back sovereignty over their own data. That's where our revenue comes from. And the bulk of our users, where I say the bulk of our users, we're anticipating 90 to 95% of our users having no idea what the hell blockchain is. And personally, I think we're being conservative there, Bill. I'm going to guess it's about 98% of our users will have no idea what the hell crypto is, the fact that they're buying it every time they pay us, and that they're using blockchain technology. That's always been the secret. You and I have been just completely dead on aligned on that. So degens that may or may not come in, they might get a free ride on us, but it's not going to affect Sigea Cloud Labs, not even at all, not even a little bit. I don't care if they bought up a whole shitload right now and dump it at 2 cents, 4 cents, 8 cents. It's not going to affect us at all. It may affect the futures if we decide to go that direction, which I got to sell this, guys. This is not a decision that Scott can arbitrarily make, but it may affect the futures, but it's not going to affect the day-to-day operations at all. That's always been the secret to blockchain. Most of these guys out here are simply interested in selling tokens, and something like that, a situation like that, does affect their, day-to-day operations. It doesn't change ours at all. We're a cash business, and our users are not blockchain people. They have no fucking idea who's using the app right now. Show of hands. Who has tried it? Who is using it? Who is storing data? Because if you are, you're using blockchain technology. But I defy you. I challenge you to point out which part of this app suggests to you that you are, because you're not. We've been in this shit game for a long time, and we know what is necessary. This is something like that that's necessary. So sure, if some degens get a free ride on us and they come up, oh, look, I 2x'd. I bought it at a penny and sold at 2 Eddie. Look at me, I'm a hero. It doesn't matter to us. It doesn't affect Sigea Cloud Labs at all. And this is the way that blockchain is supposed to be. And I'm right about this. Bell is right about this. We've been right about this the entire time. And why I'm so excited right now, you might not see it. We had a long stream last night and I was hammered. But the reason that I'm so excited is that we get to prove it to you. And that's always kind of what it's been about. We want to validate 9 years of us up here doing what we've been doing, coming live, doing these streams, doing all this stuff, getting mocked, ridiculed, laughed at, getting all of that stuff and enduring it. And right now, I cannot wait to show you, you know what? You were wrong and we were right. Now, what am I going to do when we get to that point, Bell? Because it ain't going to be that long. Am I going to slam dunk on everybody? I don't know. Depends how much I was drinking. But I'm going to mention it. So, yeah, man, I appreciate the comment. Go ahead, Bell.
All right, G Torres, to be honest, my worry is that the iOS and Android apps have too many bugs.
And currently, yeah, they do, man. This is why it's a beta. There's a bunch going on, bro. Look, man, I have iOS is right here. I got Android right here, and trust me, I'm testing, and I get you, man. We do got some bugs going on, and we're quashing them one at a time, boom to boom to boom. Now I'm on a different build than you are. I'm on a different build than the release build and all that other stuff, and a lot of your concerns have been addressed. But we have to thoroughly test before we push it out to the public. So just please keep that in mind. I mean, you understand the development process, bro. And yeah, Android is underperforming iOS right now, and it's definitely underperforming desktop. But we'll bring it together. You know, we got a few weeks. A lot can happen in a few weeks, particularly when you are just on a bug hunt. Right now, we've still been pushing in features, functionality, all that other good stuff. And that's where our devs have been just heads down doing that and not really as concerned about bugs. Now, my job is to prioritize what is most important. So don't blame the devs. All right. If something ain't doing what you think it should be doing right now, you don't blame the devs. You blame me. You blame Bell. All right. We're the ones who made the decision. But we have zero doubt that inside of 2 or 3 weeks, or at least towards the end of the month, because that's when we plan on going live, you're not going to be seeing this yet in 2 or 3 weeks. All right. We got the guys up there, heads down, quashing bugs right now. Now, the more feedback that you can provide to us out there on the podcast Discord and the feedback channel, the more people that we get pinging on these things. If we see a one-off, we don't ignore it, but it goes kind of to the bottom of the resume pile, man. But if we see 9 or 10 people all giving us the same amount of feedback, then it goes to the very top of the list. So help us help you. So I understand where you're coming from on that, G Taurus, and I have those same concerns. But right now it's just prioritizing what is most important. And you kind of got to look a little bit big picture on this. And that's our job. So please keep testing, report the bugs, see what this is fucked up. This isn't working right. This isn't doing what you're supposed to be doing. But Bella and I were testing this build fresh with nobody else on that network. And this guy fucks. That's all I got to say. So we will get it there for everybody. Give us a couple weeks and we're going to get it there. Appreciate the comment. Belle, carry on.
All right, Sigea fan, I'll be testing the syncing between all 3 platforms tomorrow morning, and I bet it will run just as smooth as between web and iOS.
Yeah, and it does. My Android account is the podcast, capital D, lowercase a, capital P, Autocast. So I do the same thing that you're doing, bro, because I got them all in front of me, and I share in between my accounts so that I know it'll go from iOS to Android to desktop, back, forth, all that other good shit. Testing sucks. I'm not going to lie, man. I'm tired of it, but it's necessary. So the more people that are doing this, I certainly appreciate it. We're going to take care of you down the line. Don't worry about it. But yeah, man, if you get that, you find something that just is not doing what it's supposed to be doing, let us know. All right, we'll get it fixed. Belle, carry on.
Sigea fan, my biggest worry is the whole folder upload, including subfolders, is how most people store everything. The create the folders manually process works great for new data, just not existing data.
Mm-hmm. And that is on the feature list right now. We have bugs that we have to quash before we can start. And all of this stuff, I don't know where Belle is on this, but I consider this the flame paint job and the spinning rims and all that other stuff. These are quality of life things. They're critically important. But right now, quashing bugs and base functionality is where we are. And every time we quash one, it doesn't come back anymore. So the code base is at least that mature to the point that we don't have to do regression testing, because regression testing is the absolute worst. So those are quality of life stuff, and you wouldn't believe what's on the roadmap if you look at Belle's board. If you could see it, but she's got a big it's all right there behind her, but she's got this bokeh effect going on, so it's all blurred.
Not this one. The other one's over here,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's off camera.
And one of those things that we have up there are folder uploads. Because, yeah, I agree with you, man. It's nice and easy. Just slide in the folder that you're comfortable with on your desktop, and it goes up to Sigea Cloud or Sigea Storage in the exact same format, because we need you to be comfortable on both sides. But I'll let you in on a little secret here. The entire desktop is getting a rework. The whole thing is getting a rework. So what you see up there right now is just effectively for testing and base functionality. It will be reworked before launch completely. Now, Bella and I have been spitballing on this a little bit, and we're going to get some more feedback. It will be released to the testers before we actually push it live, so we're going to like your feedback, or get your feedback on that. But it's going to have a very it's going to have a very familiar feel to it, because we think that that's important. Is people, whether they like nostalgia or not, there's a reason that Microsoft did what they did, and the fact that they haven't gotten away from it. They've done it this way because that's what people expect, that's what they're comfortable with, and that's what works for them. Why would we not lean into that? I'm just kind of leaving that out there. There's your teaser for the day. Belle, carry on.
All right, Sigea fan, I know that is coming in a later version, but I worry about the initial impressions without it when it goes public.
Yeah, go ahead, Belle.
And that's understandable. That's understandable. That's why until that specific feature is implemented, we're not pushing to the stores. It is kind of a big deal.
It is, and we also understand that first impression is could be the last impression that we get out of a consumer. So we want to try to keep everybody as happy as we possibly can. And yeah, just understand that the desktop, which is incredibly basic right now, is done that way for a very, very specific reason. All right. I can't pull my devs off to rebuild that website right now. So we have outsourced it. Not really. But we have another dev or two that are up there going to completely remake that thing, and I think you'll like it when it goes live. I get to see it first. You know, I get owner bias in this. I get to see it first, but I understand your concern, and just know that it's being addressed. We're way ahead of you on this one, man. But I appreciate the comment. Go ahead, Bill.
All right, Sigea fan, is Sigea Talk for text or for voice? Is Sigea Video Conference a future app?
Bell.
I'll actually take this one. Sigea Talk is going to be a direct competitor to Zoom, but with real-time text messaging included.
Yeah, and one of the big things that's always been for me, I don't know where it is for Bell, I'm going to minimize, that little green icon right down there, which you guys are familiar with, it's the one that you use to text on your iPhone. Our whole goal with this, with Sigea Talk, is that our icon is going to replace that icon. So whatever you could do on that, you can do on ours in a familiar environment, meaning that you've already seen this before, you're comfortable, you've been using it for years. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel here. We're just trying to make a better wheel. And that is what we are going to be doing with that. You want to call, you call, but they're encrypted. You want to video chat, you video chat, but they're encrypted. Everything's encrypted, end to end. All right. And if we do it right, you'll never even know it. You'll never even know it. So that's kind of the direction that we're going up there with Sigea Talk. Now, long term, I haven't even told Bell this yet, but I'll go ahead and say it now. Long-term, Sigea Talk will be a better, it'll be a better revenue stream for us than Sigea Storage. People are just, they're fine with iCloud. They're fine with what they have. They're fine with what they have from a default standpoint. But where I say that we are pushing apps to the same market, we know our market. We know the people that we're looking for, and we know our consumers. So all we're going to be able to do is give them another product that protects, that gives them sovereign ownership over their own data. That includes your text, your phone calls, your video calls, your conferences, everything. All we're doing is making something better. And I know, why wouldn't you really try to change it up? I'm saying what we're doing right now is incredibly disruptive, because there's no reason that they couldn't do it right this second, but they don't, because it destroys too many additional business models that their entire business and revenue streams are dependent on. We're not dependent on those. Anything we get is a brand new revenue stream to this company. So we don't have the overhead that they have. So if we simply take a product that exists and make it better, which is effectively what we're doing right here, but we keep it familiar, where we don't have to put out tutorials because you fucking know what to do as soon as you see it. And Sigea Storage is real close to that right now. But if we do that, then we're going to go after the 1%. And I'm being conservative in this, guys, incredibly conservative, where I keep saying the 1%. That's 1 out of every 100 humans that thinks that privacy is a right. I think I'm being conservative. The privacy narrative is increasing day after day after day. Every breach, every hack, every subpoena, everything. The privacy narrative is increasing. And we're the only game in town. So I'm supremely confident in this. Supremely confident. So we're going to give you apps that you're familiar with that are just better than the other ones. If you want to say why we're going this direction, I got 2 words for you: BlackBerry and iPhone. Which one is in your pocket right now? Belle, carry on, please.
All right, Mistress Mel. Mel needs a raise.
Well, talk to Bella. I'll just leave it there. I have nothing to do with salary negotiations. You go ahead and talk to Bella about that, Belle. You want to give her a raise?
I'd like to, but I'd also like to get paid.
There you go, Belle. I'll tell you what, Mel. You make more money.
I'm doing what I can.
You make more money than either Bella or I, and we make exactly 0.00 on this. Founders have to suffer so that everybody else can eat. It is what it is. You want some points and take no salary? Sure, we can have that discussion. Anyway, carry on, Belle.
All right, so Fisherman, it's a power play to get the extra jackal now. Opens a lot of future opportunities. Might be hard to swing in the short term. It's definitely a big vote of confidence for jackal in the future. Fisherman, you hit the nail on the head by saying, okay, might be hard to swing in the short term.
And it will be incredibly hard to swing in the short term, and I understand it. But I'm a big fan of balls out. It's a metaphor, man. I'm not, pulling out my testicles here. It's a metaphor. And yes, it will be a very, very hard sell for me to try to get this through the board. But if I'm right, I can write my own check in my own company, because then that's it. Then we have there's a certain member that's sitting on our board of directors that's also a retired military guy, but he went the O route and I went the E route. And if I'm right on that, that cat's going to salute me, because he's going to say, fuck, I did not see it, and a good thing you did. And there you go, boss. And to me, it's worth it just for that salute, just so I can say, yeah, that's right. Biatch. I won't say biatch, Bell. I won't say that because I don't think he knows that. But it would be worth it for me just to do that. The fact that we're stupidly and wildly and, oh my God, profitable is irrelevant to me at that point. But I can't sell this past 18 months. That's kind of the kicker. Because what if we kept doing this and we drove Jackal to 16 cents, 32 cents, 64 cents, and we continue on this path? Where do we get off that path? What would be the point of where do we get off that ride? When do we stop putting every single dollar of revenue into the Jackal token? When do we get off the roller coaster? Now, that's a you decision. You can blink, because I know you'd have to consider something like that, but that's a you decision. All I did was build the roller coaster, but you have to decide when we get off from it. It's never going to get to the point where we're selling tokens for cash. We don't need to. There's no world that exists that we would need to do something like that. But you would have to be the one to decide, you know what? We've been on this ride long enough. I think it's time to realize profits and really gear up for the next big push that this company may or may not be doing. And again, the only way that you're going to be able to tell is that it's going like this and then suddenly flat. That's the only way that you would know, because our buy pressure will never stop, because we have to pay Jackal. We have to pay for the storage. So our buy pressure will never stop. The only question would be is how much buy pressure? That would be the only thing. So it's interesting. If you guys want to be able to track this, just watch the price. Anyway, I'll carry on, please.
Sigea fan, that is fantastic news about desktop and folders before the launch.
And where are you at on that, Belle?
I mean, I'm the one who made this statement of, okay, that's going to be done before, at least the folders is going to be done before we launch the app.
Yeah, but anytime we're discussing this and it's a question from Sigea fan, if I interrupt you in the least little bit so I can give my thoughts, you bust my balls publicly. So I'm going to give you the microphone and all the time that you need to expand on your thoughts on something like that. I see it as an absolute necessity. I agree with them. We want people comfortable. I want drag and drop on that site, that you just drag that fucking thing in there because people are comfortable. I want copy paste. I want that in there because that's what I do, because I'm an old guy and I'm a big fan of Control C and Control V. So I want copy paste on there. I want all of those things on there. But you've never really expanded on that, Belle. So here's your opportunity. What else would you like to see on the desktop?
I would like it to be easier and more apparent when it comes to renaming files.
Oh my God, you've gone on and on. I know you've gone on and on about that. When you click the three dots, you want to see rename in there, don't you?
Yeah.
Are we gonna table everything else to rename files? No, because we can do that right now. You know what? It turns out that the devs we have, that we pay them, so they're gonna do what we say to do. What would you like to table right this second so that we can rename it? I will type it in and it will happen tomorrow. How important is it to you?
It's not unimportant enough that I haven't already told the devs.
Okay. So there you go, guys. You want to rename, it's coming. There you go. Belle has pulled out her CEO nuts. So there you go.
I mean, they asked for a list of things to accomplish within the next week. So, yeah. I mean, we've both been hammering them with things.
We have.
So, yeah.
But our things are different. Look, I think the absolute base that we need to be able to happen constantly, every single time without fail, is a minimum of 1.2 gigabyte uploads on mobile. 1.2 gigabytes. Now, the specific reason for that is very, very easy. Effectively, every movie that exists on the planet that is not 4K, and very few people really care about 4K. All right, this is getting into vinyl versus CD kind of discussion, and I don't give a fuck about that. But effectively, any kind of realistic movie that you might have on your device that you want to make sure stays on your device and travels with you wherever you go, at the high end is about 1.2 gigabytes. I have movies on mine. I'm letting you know, these are movies that I have, that I've purchased, that I own, because I gave them money and it belongs to me, and I want to make sure that they travel with me, so I upload them to Sigea. Therefore, they travel with me. Movies like Down Periscope. There's nothing better when you're on a plane ride than watching Down Periscope, or 300, or you know what? Right there, those are the two that you've traveled with me. You know which movies I watch, and it's usually Down Periscope or 300. But I want to make sure that they travel with me. So that is my absolute priority. This fucking thing has got to be able to handle that. We know we can do bigger. All right, I've put 2 gigabytes is about our cutoff right now, and I don't know if that's a memory leak or what we have going on, but they'll get it fixed. They got 2 weeks to get that fixed, so I'm sure they will. And there's not a lot of movies aside from like Ben-Hur in 4K, which did not exist in 4K, by the way, because that's a very old movie. I'm just saying it's a long one. It's about 3.5 hours. That bitch just keeps going. but I want to make sure that I can do that because I use Sigea Storage as my entertainment platform. We reinvented Napster. We perfected it, but we reinvented Napster. And I want to make sure that the movies that I paid for, that I own the license for, that was the deal that I made with this when they took my $16.99 and gave me the movie, that it belongs to me and that I want it to be able to travel with me. So thank you very much for the license to this movie, that I can legally own it. I'm not distributing. It's just coming with me. So I want to make sure that our platform will handle that. Do you like that answer, Belle? That's pretty good, huh?
You are gonna wind up getting the corporation sued by bringing up Napster and LimeWire constantly.
No, these are just things that existed in the past. They don't exist anymore. Or I don't, for all I know, LimeWire is still out there. Show of hands. Does LimeWire still exist? And are you using it? And if you are using it, how many viruses did you get from it? Because God help you. And, Napster was great. If you ever watched the movie Silicon Valley or you watched the series Silicon Valley, remember the little Napster balloon that inflated and then deflated right there in the intro graphics? That was Napster. I'm just pointing out that the capabilities of that exist right now, and it's not exclusive to Sigea Storage. It's anybody that fucking hosts data. That's including Dropbox. That's including iCloud. That's including anybody that exists out here that hosts data. We're not unique in this sense. The only thing that makes us unique in this sense is our encryption. That's what makes us unique. And our speed and the fact that we're purely hot storage and everybody else sucks. We're the rock stars. Go ahead, Bill.
All right, so Sigea fan, wow, Sigea talked to the Kuiper Belt, far past the moon and the solar system.
I don't know what that is, Belle. Do you know what that is?
I'm not sure.
You're Googling.
I'm pretty sure I also butchered the name of it.
Okay. When her eyes go left, she's looking at like her third monitor up there, and she's probably Googling it or Xing it or grokking it and try and say, what? I don't know what the fuck that is. I appreciate that, man. Look, I'll give you a round of applause for that, dude. We don't get a lot of really positive comments. I appreciate that. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm all about that. Is this something I would have seen in the series The Expanse? Which is wonderful, by the way, an absolutely wonderful series. Belle has never seen an episode. I'm a little bit jealous because she gets to see it for the very first time. And I can't say that anymore because I've actually seen it. I never finished the series, though. I'm on like season 5, so I never actually finished it out. Anyway, Belle, please carry on.
Fisherman, Sigea Talk is the money shot. I can't wait to see the PC Mag Sigea review.
And, that's what makes it interesting. And obviously, Belle and I talk about this an awful lot. I think Sigea Talk will be a bigger money shot for us than actual Sigea Storage. Now, Sigea Storage is always the flagship, and it will never not be the flagship because every other app that we push out under the Sigea Cloud Labs label needs that level of base functionality, meaning storage. It all comes down to storage. All right, that's the fuel for the engine. So then you have to kind of get into what are people going to use? Are they going to upload selfies, take pictures that never show up on their phone and videos? And we do that right this second. Or are they going to be texting their friends or their associates that are also using Sigea Talk? Which one of these do you see as more likely? And that's kind of where it comes down to. So I agree with Fisherman on that one, and it seems like he agrees with me that that's going to be a bigger money shot for us. Fortunately, with our grassroots marketing and outreach campaign that we're going on, and we're probably going to start in about May. Belle and I already discussed this. It'll probably be from May to December that we're out on the road. It costs us no additional fees for us to push 2 apps as opposed to 1 app. And either one of those that appeals to a single consumer, both of them will appeal to a single consumer. So we've already been talking about bundling, pricing, and all that other good stuff. So we've discussed it. We haven't finalized anything yet. We don't know, but we've already been discussing it. But you know what? Ultimately, something tells me at the end of the day that for every app that we push out, approximately $10 a month is going to guarantee your data sovereignty regardless of how you use your device. I don't hold me to this, guys, because I don't know. I'm just pulling it completely out of my ass. But something tells me that $10 is a reasonable price that the market will bear. To be able to guarantee sovereignty of all of their personal information, their data, their text, their talk, their phone calls, their video calls, everything. Something tells me the market will bear about $9.99 a month. So we might be in that ballpark. But again, don't pin me back on this because I'm just guessing. Belle, please carry on.
All right, G Torres. I think functionality of the app should be first, Bella. We don't want to break more. Functionality of all the apps is going to be first. I am not going to allow this company to fall into feature creep. What I do know is the one investor that we've got is going to be demanding features, so they have to be put in before we go live on the stores officially.
Yeah, it's a really delicate dance out here, brother. I've blown all my money. Belle blew all of her money. So now we are counting on a third party that might not see things the way that we see things. And feature creep is a real issue for us, particularly for all the things that we can do and all the things that we want to do. But feature creep is a real big issue. So it is a very delicate tango that we're dancing right now to provide functionality and the features necessary to make sure that we can continue as a corporation. So it's tough, bro. I ain't happy about it. Bellen, does she seem happy right now? Look at her. Do you see the RBF? Does she seem happy? No. This is what it takes, though. So we have to appease as many people as we possibly can so that we can continue development, keep our devs paid, keep our employees paid. Not us paid. We're fucking dead broke. But so that we can keep pushing this company forward. That is the alpha and the omega for us, is to keep this going forward. So yeah, I hope you take that into consideration, bro. That's all I'm saying. I know what Belle wants. I know what she's saying, and I know why she's saying it. You guys might not have had all the context. I hope I provided a little bit of it. Belle, please carry on.
G Torres, torrents still work extremely well today.
Yeah, and a lot of people live on those, and I get it. But end of the day, man, we're better. All right, we are better. There is no reason that anybody out there should be using a torrent when we can simply build a proper distribution platform that does not have viruses, that does not have bugs, where there is no risk. We can build that, and we can build that in 2 fucking weeks because we've already achieved base functionality. We're talking about names and the distribution platform in question. Who was that comment from? Was that G Torres?
That was G Torres.
Okay. Bro, look, man, we're a year in front of you on this. We can stand that up in 2 weeks. We've already discussed it. We're trying to find a name. That's what Belle and I were discussing today, is just trying to find a way to name it. Imagine torrent without the risk. Imagine what is possible with the free flow of information and data with no risk. Imagine what that could do. Belle, please carry on.
Last comment coming in from Sigea fan. I think the Kuiper belt was actually in the Expanse, although I don't think they went out that far.
So there you go, Belle. I don't know, but we really got to sit down. Look, we're going to be on the road for a long time, and there's no reason that we can't start a series together. The Expanse is a real good one. It's a really, really good one to get into. So I think maybe we'll spin that up. Or we could get into that. What's the Game of Thrones spinoff? Not Night of the Seven Kingdoms, but the other one. House of the Dragon or whatever.
House of the Dragon?
Yeah. But I think Expanse might be a better one. But we could discuss it when we're on the road because we got all fucking kinds of time. Isn't it funny that the crypto guys in their heyday got to go to conferences and ride on yachts and just party like money really didn't matter, and we have to do it a different way. It sucks that we missed that window, but this is a different window. What we're doing right now is a much different window, and we're the very first people in there. People will pick up on this. They're not going to do fuck all until we prove to the entire crypto world that this is the way, until we prove it. So we're kind of stuck, and the first into the wall always gets the bloodiest, and we are, in fact, in this case, the first into the wall. So it'll just be kind of funny to see how all of this plays out. So I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, Belle, if that's the last comment, please talk us up, take us out. I had a wonderful time tonight. I love to talk shop, and I love to talk Sigea Storage. So, Belle, go ahead and get us out of here, hon.
All right. Again, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who joined us this evening, we cannot say thank you guys enough. We do appreciate each and every one of you guys and the comments and questions you send our way. Now, with that being said, Scott and I are going to be back on tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Central Standard. In between now and tomorrow night, if you guys have any other comments, questions, or concerns, definitely don't hesitate to reach out to either Scott or myself, scott@thepodcast.com or bella@thepodcast.com, and we'll get those answered for you. Again, we can't thank you enough, guys, and we'll see you next time.